All right, good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning. We're just down here at Constance, moving cows off the cement pad. Had about half of them on here this morning, just eating some hay at the end. They're not eating too much, so weather's been pretty good. We got about 5 centimeters of snow last night. We were up at the cabin yesterday, just celebrating another gender reveal party. This time for my sister. She's having a boy also, so we're pretty stoked. Both me and my girlfriend, we're having a boy also, so must be the year of the boy or something. Anyways, we're gonna get all these cows off this pad here. I'm gonna try scraping some of the manure and snow off the pad, and then we're gonna get them all fed. They're still going outside out in the pasture, so they got a little trail going that way. It's a little still hard on their feet though. Anyways, we'll get them out of here. All right, now we're just at the home farm. If you remember what was there for a long time, you'll know what I'm doing. For people that don't know, I'm working on the cattle squeeze. So it needs a new floor. Just putting in some 2x6. And we gotta get going on welding everything firmly so it works. Those are the sides. They gotta be welded on also. For now, we're just cutting 2x6 to length. And I'm very much enjoying this saw. Every time I use it, I love it. It's so much better than the chainsaw. All right, we're doing 35-inch wide. 35 and a little bit, just to say. I think it's an 8. I was doing a quarter and it wasn't fitting, so I'll do 35 and an 8. We got some oak here now. I just grabbed one nice board. But all the big ones, all the 2-inch are at the bottom, so I just had to split the pile with the forks. So I just split the pile in half so I can take the 2-inch and leave the 1-inch. I'm just gonna go put them away. All right, we got a mix of oak and pine. But it looks pretty good. Just gotta finish it up. All right, the floor's done. I tried drilling through and securing it down to the bottom. I only got 2 different types of screws in. It's really hard to get in these self taps because of the steel at the bottom so thick. But I'm just gonna leave it like that. They're not going anywhere. If anything, they're gonna fall out during transport, but that way we'll be able to take them out and clean underneath or replace boards a lot easier. For the rest here, I bent this little arm when I unloaded it, so I had to straighten that out, so it's got to go a little bit more. But I put a little bit of grease on everything, or WD-40. This part's pretty good, so we're just gonna have to weld these post on solid and make this more of a solid structure. Before it was all secured on these, the sides, and the posts were interchangeable by the width. You could, if you wanted it here or here. That one's all plugged up. That was the idea, and it didn't work very well because once the cow got into the chute, everything could move because the posts weren't fixed in, so the whole thing would just swing around, and it turned into kind of a death machine. So we kind of scrapped the idea and we never used it since. So now that we need it, we can make it how we want it to, and it's going to be pretty cool once it's done, because we're basically going to make it like the one that we have, the yellow one. It's the same design. We're just going to continue the sides. Not as well as the yellow one, but for the time being, with steel prices as high as they are, we can't really do much more than that. So we're just gonna kind of weld on what we have. Unless we can find some scrap steel somewhere. Or God forbid we go buy a sheet or two of, or a length of 2 of tubing, but we don't have too much. So it's nice to have wood though. My God, this oak is beautiful. Makes you want to build stuff. Especially when you have all the right tools. All right, lunchtime. All right, so we just got done vaccinating for blackleg. So the young calves, they got their first dose of this. That prevents blackleg and a bunch of other things. So that went well. We have to do it again after. When they're most exposed to blackleg in the spring, that's when they get their second dose. Right now we're gonna do Evomec for the fall group, so it's a pour-on solution that goes on their back. So that's helps for lice and worms and parasites that they might get in their intestines. So just gotta go to the shop and get that. So with everything getting harder to find, we're having a lot of difficulty getting medication when we want it. And being a farmer, we're not so organized sometimes. So I bought 40 liters of Evomec, and we just transfer them into the little squirt pails here. That way, we're not gonna have to worry about supply issues. We have lots. So we're gonna go spray that on. Go, come on, up, let's go, up, let's go. Whoa, ice. The door's open. Makes it easier for us. Not really what we wanted to do. Okay, now we can spray them on. It's a little going out that we just Evomec. Works pretty good. Got the next bunch ready. There's not many left. It's not many to begin with either. Alright, so we get them in here. Mark them with the paint. Get them with the Evomec, with the gun. Works pretty good. Alright, so that fall group is vaccinated and Evomec'd. So they're good until the spring, I presume, before we put them out. That went really well. I didn't think we would have got that done today, but it's like 3 o'clock, so we got time to work on this. So I got one post in. That's got to get welded securely. Gotta make sure it's straight and level. Do the same thing on the other side. Then we got to put these hooked on and weld them in. Try to make, my idea is I want it to have a fixed gate or a fixed wall here of metal, and with just a little door on the side I can open, just so I can get vaccinate the cows through the little window into their neck. So let's get at it. Alright, So it's the base, and we welded them to the pins here. And these are gonna get cut off. And then switch from the MIG welder over to his arc welder. It's a little rusty. Now we're on the top piece on. Everything's welded on the side. Solid welds. And we ended up cutting off the pieces. Now we're on the side here. And this piece is gonna make everything sturdy. Which is very wide. Alright, so this is all welded up. I ended up adding 2 more square tubing in the back here. I had to actually add some. We didn't have enough square tubing, and it's all old recycled stuff. I gotta close the top off too, and we want to put a sliding door in the back here. So we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do that yet, but we just started here like that. Gonna have to cut these end pieces off flush. I had to close the top in, and then we're gonna have to make another separate frame where we're gonna put a couple bars and maybe a sheet of plywood in. Anyways, that was a good Monday. Pretty busy. Got a lot of stuff done. Thanks for watching. We'll post a video tomorrow too, so stay tuned.